Ah. Ooh. Oh. Wow. Wow.
The world was not always covered in miasma. As a matter of fact, we used to live all over the surface of the earth, in scattered outposts and bustling cities. Whether it was by divine punishment or by consequence of human greed, we lost all those things, and more. These days, folks live on barren mountaintops, fearing the day the miasma's fog rises high enough to poison what little land there is left. Certainly, there were a brave few who tried to stem the tide, but they paid dearly for it, with nothing in return. No, there is little hope for long-term survival now. Instead, towns like Little Rock endure to thrive as much as they possibly can. With the time they have left, they establish initiatives like the Homestead Arcana program, which places witches of age at lower elevations so they may cultivate plants for back home. With the lack of viable land, this means witches settle right next to the border where the miasma lies. Though Little Rock Council cannot officially take action, they strongly advise these witches to avoid the miasma at all costs. For fear of death, or worse.
This is your stop, ain't it?
Got everything on you, bud? Mm-hmm. Thanks for the ride, Abraham.
Yep. Well, see you later. Sun willing, of course.
All right, let's mosey on down. And there it is, the Dust Eater. That means we've reached our spot. This place is hardly changed. Well, except for all that miasma. Yeah, Aunt Matilda's old homestead is somewhere in that canyon. Of course, it's covered in miasma now. Who knows what's left? Anyway, Councilman Narrows has given me the honor of overseeing your initiation rites. Normally, he'd be running it, of course, but I've only been back for a week, you know? I wanted to see for myself how much you've improved since I last saw you. So the first rite is to establish a home. After all, you can't be a homesteader without a home. Unfortunately, you'll need to start off with a tent. Not the most sturdy of structures, but gotta start somewhere. Yeah, that'll keep the elements out. Probably. Maybe. Don't worry. You'll get the materials to build a proper house before long. Just like your Aunt Matilda did. Now, the second rite demonstrates your botany know-how. You'll need to plant a seedling and then make it grow. We'll start with a Little Rock favorite, corn. All right. Now I want to see you cast a watering spell. Should help it grow, at least a little. Of course, channeling is much more effective. You do know how to channel, right? Stop pulling my tail. I've seen you channel before. Channeling is that thing you do where you pull mana from the earth and guide it through the plant, making it instantly grow. You know, channeling. Now stop making me look like a fool and show me you can channel. Beautiful. Imagine if you couldn't channel, huh? Your plants would take forever to grow. Of course, you don't want to overdo it and blight the poor thing. All things in moderation, right? The second rite is complete, and now time for the third. You'll prove yourself as a witch by building a cauldron and then brewing spell potions. Now, I can't just give you a cauldron. That's part of the witching test. But technically, a workbench doesn't have anything to do with being a witch, right? I don't mean to nag, but are you sure that's the best place for it? Try moving it to a better spot. Not sure if that's a good spot for it either. No matter. If you change your mind, you can just move it again. Anyway, the cauldron. You'll need wood for the foundation, lavender for purification, and metal for the, well, cauldron. You can get some of those things in the meadow to the north, but that's blocked off. Luckily, I have all the ingredients you need. Very nice. All it needs now is something brewing in there and you'll be a real witch. Which brings me to the third rite, potion making. With what you've currently got, you'd only be able to make a ripple potion. But that's alright. Ripple is plenty useful. Oh, right, you need silver. Before you ask, I do have some on me, but, these will be the last of the handouts. People are always losing things, right? And Ripple is great for finding stuff. So this will be a bestseller for sure. Anywho, you've just completed the initiation rites. So you're now officially a part of the Homestead Arcana program. Congratulations. Your reward lies in... Oh no. But you have to understand the miasma tides are unpredictable. When I hit it a week ago, the border was a good 10 yards away. What I'm saying is, I think your prize is in the miasma. Kid, it's the miasma. The air is pure poison, and the things that live in there. I was hoping it wasn't going to come to this. Well, not so soon, anyway. When you're ready, meet me by the border and listen to my instructions, okay? Alright. As soon as you walk through that veil, you're gonna be breathing miasma. And you're really gonna feel it in your lungs. That's why it's important that you find the reward as soon as possible. It's in a crate not too far from here, but it might be hard to see it. Drinking a ripple potion will enchant your sight and help you see better. Come on, give it a sip. Did you drink the ripple potion? big and bright, anything important will light up like I do. Okay, don't stay too long in the miasma. Keep an eye out for a wooden crate. It shouldn't be too far from the entrance. You okay? Are you dizzy? How's your breath? Your blood pressure? Sun on high, it's bad, isn't it? Okay, no, this is fine. We just need to get you to eat something. The box had blasting powder, right? You should be able to use it to destroy the pink stone that's blocking the path up north. Over there, we should be able to get you a quick bite to eat. How's it going? What do you want to talk about? Hey, do you remember your first plant? The first one you raised without Ma's help. It was... Now, what was it? Well, it was a flowering plant, that's for sure. You know what? I think you're right. Downright invisible in the snow they were. I remembered you cared for those flowers more than you cared for yourself. Sometimes I'd catch you sneaking out in the middle of the night just to watch them. It seemed to pay off, though. Within a week, they were blooming. In the middle of winter, no less. Really showed the power of tender, loving care right there. Sure, the magic helps, but... What I'm trying to say is... It's good to care. Not enough people in this world care anymore. How's it going? What do you want to talk about? You're asking me about Little Rock? Buddy, we just got here. Don't tell me you're already getting homesick. I guess there's no help in that. I've had at least a dozen places I could have called home, but you've lived in Little Rock your whole life. I bet it ain't easy to let go. Tell me, what do you think you'll miss the most? Yeah, your folks are good people. In fact, your whole family's the reason why I keep coming back to Little Rock. Don't worry. I'm sure Ma will flood us with letters soon enough. All of them will be here in spirit. In any case, Little Rock's not going anywhere. But we've got work to do here now, don't we? How's it going? What do you want to talk about? What? You want to talk about little old me? Why, whatever for. I'm doing all right. Over 3 centuries old and still kicking, so that's something. Seriously, though, I'm feeling kind of anxious. I know it's gotta be weird to be out on your own with nothing but a bizarre cat thing to keep you company. I just hope I can make it up to you, you know? Prove my worth. Not just to you, but to your whole family. If you say so, bud. crabapple. Give it a bite. Feeling better? You should keep looking around here, by the way. Lots of wood, metal, various herbs and spices. Now, I understand that you might want to explore the miasma some more, but there are other things you can be doing. For example, Abraham should be coming back any time now, and when he does, he'll have useful things to buy. And oh, I think you have mail. You should always be checking your mail. Never know what's gonna be in there. Yep, always check your mail. And your packages, too. Never know what you'll get. And, make sure to take advantage when Abraham's here so you can sell your produce for silver. Wait, I already said that, didn't I? Look, I know you want to go back into the miasma. Just remember when you're in there that the town still needs you. When you want to go back in there, talk to me. I'll give you a device that'll help you breathe easier. This is a mask for protection. It won't stop the poison from reaching your lungs, but it'll slow it down. Tilly, your Aunt Matilda, found it years ago during one of our expeditions. Again, it's not going to make you invincible, and it definitely won't protect you from the wildlife out there. But it's better than nothing. Anyway, if you're insisting on going out into the miasma, you might as well try and find something useful, I guess. Tilly's old homestead isn't far from here. Maybe you can find her grill. And that way you don't have to keep eating raw apples and corn. How's it going? What do you want to talk about? I guess I had this coming. You don't disappear for over a decade and expect no questions asked. Just, it was really hard, you know? Until he passed away. I know your folks are forgiving people, but I just couldn't face him. Actually, you didn't get to know Aunt Matilda much, did you? She left home when you were, what, 5, 6? You would have loved her. She's a lot like you. Probably would have gotten you in a lot of trouble, though. She certainly did with me. I miss her every day. It was a different situation than what we've got here. I wasn't planning on looking after her. I just wanted to keep her company. Should have been more careful, though. Things could have been different if I'd stayed. But I'd rather not talk about this anymore, if that's all right with you. How's it going? What do you want to talk about? You're not gonna believe this, but I wasn't around much to see the Academy in their heyday. At that point, I was mostly spending time with your great-great-grandma. I take trips out there every now and then, though. Those folks sure seemed busy in those days. I think I watched them try to build an odd crystal cage at one point. That was kind of neat. That's all I can think to say about the Academy. You gotta understand, I couldn't get too close. The Academy did a lot of good things, but they didn't care for outsiders. Sometimes they were downright hostile. Plus, there were rumors that they'd hunt down miasma creatures and take them in to do autopsies. I couldn't risk that. Grandma Betty would have been furious. I know. Tilly was hoping I had juicier stories too. But I knew about as much as she did. How about this? If you clear all the miasma in the canyon, I'll give you a tour of the Academy. Show you all the same places Tilly saw. That's the best that I can offer.